man, did things go horribly wrong in this chapter for Capone boys. So, one thing I did not expect out of this chapter is to go back and forth from the backstory of Charlotte Linlin to present time. So that's a nice little surprise. So, two things out of the flashback we find out instantly. Number one, you find out the giant from Elbaf witnessed what happened with the cannibalism of Mother Carmel and obviously the kids from the Lamb House being devoured by Charlotte Linlin without her knowing about it. So the giant gives word to the Elbaf Kingdom. I'm assuming Mount B gets word of this, and her name's pretty much blacklisted from Elbaf, so she's not to be mentioned of ever again. Not just seen, but never mentioned again. So that's kind of how they hate Charlotte Linlin's guts. And we come to find out that Perispero, or a relative of Perispero, is indeed the puppet master pulling the strings of Charlotte Linlin, because he sees what's going on and he's getting aroused by it. Who else laughs like coo 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 coo? He was laughing like that mostly. Plus, the way he was licking that meat does remind me how it looks like candy stick that he has in his mouth. So this is pre-devil fruit powers. We saw Charlotte Linlin demonstrate her devil fruit powers as well, because she gives life into a flower, and we don't really get to see how that process works. We still haven't in this arc. Gives life into a flower, so that's where Alice in Wonderland begins for Big Mom. And it's also the place where Whole Cake Island is probably going to be at eventually. Plus, it is stated in this chapter, these two will eventually be building the Big Mom Pirates we see today. So we know two people in the Big Mom Pirates like that. And Perispero, once again, somebody else misguiding Charlotte Linlin, Big Mom. The problem is, okay, yes, you can say she's been manipulated, but at the same time, she is aware of what's going on as a teenager. Okay, as a kid, yeah, she had no self-control. She one-shotted Mount Forbeard and killed him. No memories of what happened after that. So when she went on that sugar craving, that was it. But here, she knows what she's doing because she's trying to manipulate one of the kingdoms, and she's actually threatening one of the kings or princes. Bring me fruit or sweets, or I will kill, and I will give you a deal. And then she also says, if you run away from me, I will straight up kill you. And she ends up by devouring this prince or king. So she knows what she's doing. She's not clueless, and she's not like a brainless beast like she was in Elbaf. So no, that's why I don't feel sympathy for her at all. And she has learned a thing. There's no development on the part of Big Mom. She's still crying like an infant in present time, other Mother Carmel, and she completely clues to the fact that she's the one that devoured Mother Carmel. Again, I do feel sympathy for the kids, not so much for Mother Carmel. However, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about the devil fruit, is because she ate a devil fruit using not necessarily devil fruit. Is that the same process though? Because in a way, you are still eating a devil fruit. It just happens to be inside of another human being. So I guess it's the same. I guess it's the same principle as acquiring devil fruit powers, but I just thought the process took a lot quicker. Not so, because at 6 she's able to command that like it's nothing. Because she's like, I'm able to use the same trick that Mother Carmel's able to use. Plus, she already had Zeus and Prometheus at that point. By the way, I like her design as a teenager when she's maniacal as fuck, and she has that hat reminiscent of Perispero, so that's kind of neat. Plus, the world government are hyping her up even further because it's like, this bitch is out of control. So she starts off as a 6-year-old at 50 mil. Granted, I know Nika Robin at 8 years old was at 79 million, but then again, she was the last survivor of O'Hara. She's obviously wanted from the word go. Both of them have connections to being wanted at a very young age and having very high bounty. Just so happens that both circumstances are completely different. Nika Robin had a much tragic backstory because she had to witness everybody destroyed by the world government right in front of her eyes. Big Mom kind of like devoured everybody she cared about without really knowing about it. So, and then she still hasn't grown up. Nika Robin's changed a great deal since then. So, speaking of bounties, does anybody else still think that Nika Robin's bounty post is still a little bit low? I think it should be at least 200 mil. That's just my opinion. But so we go back into present time, and boy oh boy, and her bounty shot up to like 500 mil. So as a teenager, she was already equal to Laura Luffy. So, but here's the problem, okay? She says, it's said, and I quote, she's strong enough to destroy the Cypher Pole. What? Okay, so are you implying that at probably a teenager, she's stronger than Cypher Pole? Which unit? Because if it's CP0, that, in my opinion, puts her above Blackbeard because didn't Blackbeard teach, Marshall D teach bail from CP0 when they arrived at Baltigo? Because what's going on there? So it's like, and that was as a teenager. So it's like, what's going on with the CP unit? So it's like I'm beginning to think that maybe the Yonko are a little bit ahead of Cypher Pole. Some of them, not all of them. But then again, Marshall D teach is a D, so maybe that's something to do with it. So I don't know. I just thought that's kind of weird that Charlotte Lindland had no problem surpassing Cypher Pole as a teenager, but and Blackbeard already dealt with Marco at the Payback War, but it's still, it's like, teach, are you afraid of the CP units or something? So what's going on there? So I'm pretty sure Kaido is stronger than Cypher Pole as well. So we'll wait and see. So I thought that was kind of a neat way of hyping Big Mom even up, if that was possible. So she gets used to her Devil Fruits, and we go back at Devil Fruit powers, and we go back into present time, and the mirror, obviously, not only the mirror but also the missiles shattered because of Big Mom's screech. The mirror has shattered. It was a fucked up plan to begin with to have Caesar in charge of the escape route, but so now things have gone horribly awry, so they can't go into the mirror world, so they're fucked. So they have to come up with another escape route. And I love Capone's expression and Gato and Vito when they realize, oh boy, we fucked up now. So look, we gotta make a break for it. We gotta run. So that was kind of funny. Plus, look at the expression of the Big Mom pirates when they realize, oh boy, you guys fucked up now. We're coming to get you. We're coming to get you. So, and they just straight up say, we cannot win this fight now. It's too much. It's like they have to find a way to bail, and Capone activates Optimus Castle Prime mode, so he literally just turned into a Transformer, which I thought was kind of cool. So he's like, get inside for now. So I think they're going to come with a plan, a strategy to retreat. By the way, I didn't see Sanji anywhere near Capone, so is he still with the Vince Smokes? So if that's the case, if he's still out there, that's going to be a problem. So, and that may lead to Luffy jumping out back, because his whole purpose is to save the Vince Smokes, so, and Sanji. So he's not going to leave them. And if that's the case, they need to come up with a way to stall Big Mom and Charlotte Lynn and the Big Mom pirates, right? I hate to say this, but the only thing that makes sense right now, there's only two people that I think could hold the fort, and one's obviously more definite possibility. Pedro, but he's a lot more shadier than Jinbei, and I think Jinbei possibly might be the one to actually keep the Big Mom pirates at bay, because Big Mom stated, and I quote, "I will never forgive the Straw Hats for this." So she's got eternal hatred for Luffy. So even after what happens on Whole Cake Island, this is going to be resolved on Elbaf. So that's kind of clarified at this point. And I don't think Big Mom's going to be the one to run from Whole Cake Island, do you? So no, something else is going to happen. And I think Jinbei, I don't want it to happen. I don't want Jinbei to die, but I think if anybody's going to try and make sure the Straw Hats escape, it's going to be Jinbei. He said it in this arc already. It's not a question of if, but when. Personally, I want to see Jinbei team and go join the Straw Hats and at least help aid them out when it comes to like Wano. But I don't know. It's the only thing that makes sense at this point. Because if Sanji's out there, and Luffy realizes this, he's going to go back out. Jinbei is going to be the one to actually stop Luffy and say, you know what? Take Sanji, take the Vince Mode, go, leave. I'm going to hold the fort, no pun intended, and make sure you guys get away safely. So I think that's what's going to happen. I don't want it to happen, but it's the only thing that makes sense at this point. So press your comments down below. Anyway, how do you think the scenario is going to play itself out with Capone and Luffy? Now the Alliance have to find a way to retreat. If Big Mom is not going down in this arc, I think it's kind of confirmed at this point. Kaido is not going down in Wano. It's just common sense. Like, if Big Mom's too strong, what are they going to do against Kaido? So yeah. So we may actually get the conclusion of the Versus 4 Emperors arc on Elbaf, which I cannot fucking wait for. So like this review if you did appreciate that. Comment down below your thoughts about this chapter. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later.